break that down then. How do you go from like, oh, I've got an idea to then you're at a premiere of your idea?
I guess I had the benefit of I wrote it and decided to produce it. So rather than being stuck with an idea and not being able to write, I'd never written before. I just put it onto paper as best I could. And
Did you have help with that? Did you have...
Well, I kind of did like a social media call out. So I asked, I'd written the script and I did a bit of a call out and said, does anyone want to come on board and help me, I guess, check this is actually written in the right format? And I met my good friend now, Ben, and that's how we met. And he came on board, kind of gave me a little bit of advice, what kind of route he would go down with it. And then after another draft or two, I actually brought on a guy called Simon Jefferson. He was like screenwriter, like co-screenwriter with me. So he kind of helped me adapt it into a professional screenplay, and just kind of corrected any things. But to be fair, as an actor, I'd seen so many scripts and had so many scripts on my desk that I could just copy the format.
You got the general format.
Yeah, you kind of understood what certain things meant, and yeah, it was easier, I guess, than I'm making out maybe. But yeah, then I guess it's just business knowledge and knowing how to formulate a team. And
yeah, so what did you do? Did you just like putting the feelers out saying who wants to get
yeah,
involved?
So how did I do it? So I'd worked on quite a lot of shorts up in the Northeast anyway, and so I guess when it came to finding a crew and a team that I wanted to work with, it typically ended up being people that you were friends with or kind of met through the industry. And then a lot of our castings and crew call-outs we did on social media. So as an actor, there's a website called Spotlight, but it's exclusive in the sense that you have to have had certain credits or you have to have an agent or have done certain training. So I wanted to exclude that and I wanted to do all of our cast call-outs on social media. So we cast everyone through like Twitter, I think it was.
Did people like send in audition tapes and stuff?
Oh my God, I got so many. And
the good, the bad and the ugly.
Yeah, so well, I did have a DM from, I don't know which one it was now, a casting director saying, do you want any help? And I was like, no, fine. Yeah, I really regret that. My inbox to this day is actually just ridiculous. Like I filed everyone, like still got everyone's emails, whether we like auditioned them or not. Because everyone's got a different look and everyone's got a role that would suit them. So it was nice to kind of keep everyone on file, and just see kind of where they go or if return to them. But oh my God, yeah, I got like thousands of emails.
But then you must have got somewhere like, that's the right person. Oh yeah.
So who we cast as Aaron in Internal Abyss, it was very quick. We actually only auditioned maybe 10 people. So we got hundreds of like CVs and headshots and all that sent through. And we only auditioned, I want to say like 10 people. And then they were just self-tape requests. And from them, we only physically like Zoom auditioned 2. And Felix being one of them. And I think we recorded the Zoom call, myself and my director. And I think at the end of the call, we're like, yeah, he's the one. And it was a really easy process with him because we did see him and we were like, that is so good. Like he just nailed it. Yeah, he just nailed it. And he just had that unique style to him. So yeah, it's really interesting when you find actors like that. And it was really interesting as well from an acting point of view to see how it comes across. People emailing you as like an actor and agents emailing.
Because that's been you.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, oh, yeah, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Like maybe I should approach it a little bit differently. Because
you'll see how some go through the application process, like or the audition process, and how they ask for it or how they present themselves. Yeah,
for sure. I think it made me realise how important a good headshot is, a good show reel is. That's the first thing that you see, or the way that you word your email.
Yeah, especially if you've got two. Sometimes if you've got two candidates who are very similar, those are some of the difference breakers, aren't they?
Yeah, professionalism, how you hold yourself and how you kind of introduce yourself. Like first impressions are so important. And we did get a lot of people that I guess, just didn't have that experience in dealing with maybe directly applying and were just sending, I guess, one thing is it's really hard because you got scammers and stuff online, downloadable links that you never requested. It's kind of like you do automatically avoid them. So then applications may not have even been looked at because we don't know if it's legit. So it's just making sure that everything's easily accessible and you don't have to jump through hoops to open your application because you don't want a casting director or anyone to skip past you because they're a bit unsure whether it's a legit application or not, kind of things like that. Yeah.
Cool. So then, how did you two, who was the director?
Helena
How did
Antonio.
you cross paths with her?
So social media. So again, I think I must have done it was some sort of call out, and we crossed paths on Instagram, I think it was, and then she was kind of very patient with the process because it took me a long time to kind of take it from script to actually getting into production with things.
So did you learn a lot? You learn a lot from her.
Yeah, I mean, she was very much. So the film itself was very much about it changed so much.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, what is the premise of is it a short film? Isn't it?
Yeah. So it's called Internal Abyss, our first short film, which I keep referencing, and the film itself follows a young girl called Mia, through her kind of relationships in life. We see her home relationships with her parents, and her parents are going through a divorce, kind of a broken home, and her relationship with her boyfriend Aaron, who it kind of centers around toxic relationships, emotional abuse, and it does nod at domestic abuse in terms of physical, but it's more about looking at the relationships around you, and there's often a cycle. You kind of attract what you know, and until you kind of know any different, toxic love can often just be all that you know, especially in young relationships, your first love.
You just accept it.
Yeah, you don't know any different, so you kind of just get stuck in that cycle, and it's about breaking out from that. So we follow her through her journey of mental health and accepting when the time is to move on and choose herself over other people.
Cool. So you got Helena on board.
Yeah, so Helena was on board. So the script went through many, many different phases. The story very much changed direction. We originally focused on the mother and the daughter relationship to begin with, and then we shifted that relationship focus to the boyfriend girlfriend. So we both kind of.
What made that decision?
I think because when I first wrote it, I didn't realise how much I'd put into this film, and it was definitely looking more at feature length. And for your first production, it's just not really realistic.
Shorter is better.
Yeah, it's better to kind of for future projects. So
was it hard for you to change it from other people's suggestions?
Yeah, so bringing it down to.
You're like, you got to cut this bit that you love.
Well, I kind of had the power in that. So like, no one ever told me, get rid of that, get rid of this. It was always kind of, okay, guys, hold on. I'm going to go back to the script and we're going to go in a bit of a different direction. But it was, there was so many layers. There were so many different characters we were following that to cut it down to what originally we were thinking was a concept short, it would just be better to focus on one thing. And I just felt like I really wanted to tell that story of Mia and Aaron's relationship, and that was something really personal to me. So I thought I'm just going to throw myself into that and just tell the truth and not try and, I guess, run away in a different direction. And it's done really well. The premiere of that was really emotional because my mum got me a beautiful custom guest book made for the company, and I left it on a desk and I let kind of attendees write in it. And it had so many people open up about domestic abuse relationships they've been in or family members that they've
So it really struck a chord with a lot of people.
Yeah, and you just don't realise how many people around you have been through
all
similar
you do is
things.
tell your story, and then I suppose it's how you tell the story and how you present it. You've obviously done a good job.
The thing, through all the festivals we've been to and done Q&As at, it's just the people that I've met and the way that they've opened up. It's done more than I guess expected and hoped from it. So that's really nice, and learnt a lot of myself, I think, through that as well, and healed a lot.
On many different levels.
Yeah, oh, for sure, yeah.
So where was the premiere in the
We
Lambre
did
in
it
Penrith?
in Penrith, yeah. So I wanted to keep it local and I wanted to support an independent cinema.
Yeah.
And I went to the Alhambra a lot of my kind of
It's
childhood.
about a year ago, was it?
Exactly a year ago,
Yeah,
like
I thought it
last
was.
week actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really good. And we had about 100, maybe just on 100 attendees.
Nice.
And it was just, yeah,
Did you do a Q&A as well then?
Yeah, we did a Q&A afterwards. And yeah, Q&A, me, Helena, Felix, who played Aaron. And yeah, it was really nice.